Hello, in my previous video I talked about the challenges of focusing on confidence, link below, and today, together with my helper, I want to give you 3 tips on how you can increase the chances of you being listened to by introducing the
power of asking questions.
the power of asking questions. Number 1, swap statements with questions. By all means, if you are confident and your statements are being listened to, continue to do so. Congratulations, fantastic. You don't have to change anything. But if this doesn't work, try swapping the statement with a question. So for example, instead of saying, I think we need to do this because of that, you can introduce a question. Example, what would it take to do this? Or how does it link to our strategy? Or what would have happened if we swapped this with that? Or would that be more effective if instead of doing A, we do B, and so on. So you can still bring your point of view in, but by using the power of asking questions. What it does, it opens the room to listen to you, and if you're asking questions, they have to consider that because they have to respond. So this is a little trick that may work for you. Number 2, be the first person to ask a question in a meeting. So this is a tip that a colleague of mine shared with me. She said that she wasn't that confident and someone told her, you know what, just make sure that from now on in every meeting you are the first person to ask a question. And I've witnessed that firsthand in many of those meetings, and she was fantastic because her questions were so on the point, were bringing new perspectives, were challenging the thinking, and were gems of the questions. And I think that was because she knew from the get-go that she needs to listen to understand. And when she listened to understand, her questions were fantastic. And the other benefit of that was that she didn't have to think about being confident or being visible for the rest of the meeting because she already had her moment of shine. That was fantastic. That worked really well for her, but importantly, that was very good for the team as well. And the third one is to be like Detective Columbo.
My name is Columbo, ma'am. I'm a lieutenant from the police.
I don't know how many of you may remember or have ever seen Detective Columbo TV series, but I remember being fascinating watching him doing his craft of being a detective. The thing about Detective Columbo was, for me, that he seemed innocent. He seemed a little bit lost at times.
There's something else that I've been wondering about.
Definitely not the confident person. You would maybe sometimes challenge his capabilities to that extent.
You sure don't look like a policeman.
You may wish to detain this man. He refuses to leave the area.
This man is Lieutenant Columbo, sir. He's in charge of the investigation.
However, what he was doing, he was gathering his informations and insights. He was connecting well with the people. People were opening up to him, and that was leading him to that moment of brilliance. The famous, just one more thing question.
Oh, listen, just one more thing. There's one little thing. There is one thing that I did want to ask you, sir.
And what I want to say with that is, I think in today's world, we are under this massive pressure of being always right, having those insights, having those answers in the moment, on the spot, in that meeting. And not all of us think that way. Not all of us have the confidence to do so. It doesn't work for everyone. Nor should that really be the case for everyone. So I think the tip is to give ourselves permissions to reflect, to gather information, not to be always right, and to think, because that can lead us to that moment of brilliance. So next time we're in a meeting when we're under pressure to give that answer, we can break it by saying, just thinking loud, what about this? Or my first impressions are, or my first thoughts are, I have to think about it more, but now what comes to my mind is A, B, C, and D. I can come back to you on that tomorrow or what have you. And if it's important, if it's context relevant, if it's valuable that you do come up with something, you can have this one more think moment later on the email or in one-to-one or in the next meeting, whatever suits you and is appropriate in the context, that you can shine, like that you can solve it, just like Detective Columbo. So we don't have to be afraid of stopping, slowing down, because that's going to bring the brilliance within.
Oh, General, talking about work, there's a couple of loose ends I'd like to tie up. Nothing important, you understand, but...
So these were my 3 tips on how you can bring your voice in by using
The power of asking questions.
So let's summarize. Tip number 1.
Instead of saying ask,
Number 2.
be first to ask questions in the meeting.
And number 3.
There's one more thing. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe.
I'm sorry to bother you, ma'am. I just wanted to ask you one more question.
What is it?